welcome to my YouTube videos, and this is my second video and I'm uploaded in my second account. Okay, before we continue, let me introduce myself. Hello, my name is Desta Suryadi and I'm currently studying at the Prayogo University with the major automation, engineering and technology. And this video we can make a basic calculator to calculate it free time in a week. So basically this calculator can calculate it how many time do you have in a week that you can use for free time. Okay, and the second program we're gonna create basic calculators with 4 operators like summation, multiplication and divided. Okay, without talking too much, let's dive into it. Okay, the first thing you need to do is open your browser in your computer. In this video I'm gonna use a Google Chrome as my default browser, and then search a stretch and then click the first page. Okay, make sure you have been logged in into a stretch because it's very important to make a project. And then after you log in, you just create a project in here. Okay, this is the first loop in stretch. In our first program, we can make a basic calculators to calculate it how many time that you have in a week. Okay, the first thing we need to do is open event setting and then drag and drop this when I click the green flag in here, and then go to the ask function in sensing, drag and drop in here, and then go to the variables. Okay, we can make variables like sleep. Okay, and then make a variable again like work, and then make a variable again and write relaxing time in week a day, and then make a variable again and write weekend. Okay, and then make variable again and then write total free time. Okay, the first thing we need to do is drag and drop these variables, set my variables to, and then change this value into this sleep, and then go to the sensing and then drag and drop this answer. Okay, and then drop this toolbox and then click right and then duplicate it. I will duplicate it into 4. Oh, sorry. Okay, and then put in a back. Okay, and then change the name, and here I'm gonna write how many hours in a day. And then the second asking, and then it's asking how many hours do you work in a day. And the third asking is how many use for relaxing in a weekday. Okay, and then just copy this text and then duplicate it into the fourth ask, and then change this into weekend. Okay, and then change the set and then change into the work. Make sure it's same as in here. And then this is relaxing in the weekday, and then this is also relaxing time in the weekend. Okay, next we're gonna make a new variables, and this is I'm gonna write weekday, and then make a new variable again and then write weekend. Next, go to the set and then drag and drop a tree set function and then spare it into the main program, and then go to the operators and then drop the subtraction operators, and make sure you must follow what I did. Okay, and then like this and then like this. Okay, and we're gonna write 24 because in a day it has 24 hours, and then go to the variables and then drop the sleep in here, work in here, and then relaxing time in a weekday in here. Okay, after you write it and then drop in this contains. Okay, and then you change the variables into a weekday. Okay, next go to the operators and then drop the subtraction function again. We need a tree, and then do the same thing what I did. Okay, and then go to the variables again and then drop the sleeps in here, work in here, and then relaxing time in a weekend in here, and then change the value into 24, and then grab this function and then drop in here, and then change the variables into weekend. Okay, and then change this variable into the total free time, and then go to the operators again and then drop the summation and then multiplication and then multiplication. Okay, and this multiplication you drop in here, and multiplication in here, drop in here. Okay, make sure the sequence is like that. Okay, and then go to the variables again and then go to the weekend, a weekday, we drop in here, and then weekend we drop in here, and then change the value into 5 because in a week there is a 5 weekday and 2 weekends. It's Saturday and Sunday, and then drop this into this and this. Okay, after that you drop in here to the bottom function and then just looks. Okay, next go to the looks and then drop this save function and then drop tree function. Okay, and then go to the operators and then join, drop in here, drop in here, and drop in here. Okay, and then we're gonna rewrite your free time in this, and then copy cap, and then change into weekend, and then change your free time in a whole week is. Okay, and then go to the variables and then drop this weekday in here, weekend in here, and then total free time in here. Make sure okay, we're gonna change into weekend. Okay, this is good. Okay, after that go to the control setting and then drop this stop function. Okay, next I want to run this code by clicking this green flag in here. And then how many hours do you sleep in a day? I would say 6 hours. And then how many hours do you work in a day? 5. And then how many hours do you use for relaxing in a weekday? 3 hours. And then weekend it's 4 hours. Then your free time in a weekday is 10. Okay, this is too fast. I'm gonna change into maybe 5. Oh, 4. 4. Okay, just run again. How many hours do you sleep in a day? Maybe 7. And then how many hours? 5. Relaxing in a weekday is 3 hours. And then weekend is 4 hours. Okay, your free time in a weekday is 9. In weekend is 8. And your total free time is 61. Okay, before we continue, I'm gonna teach you how to create a comment in Stretch. The first thing you need to do is click right in your mouse and then add a comment. Then I will say asking user input. Okay, this is good. And then add comment again. Then say okay, this is good. And then add a comment. And then okay, that's good. Okay, maybe this is the first program, and then move into the second program. Okay, in the second program we will build basic calculators with 4 operators in this program. It contains summation, subtraction, multiplication, and then division. Okay, the first thing we need to do is go to the even and then drop in here, and then go to the variables, and then we can make user input. Okay, and then make variable again input 1, make again input 2, and then operand. Okay, good. And then go to the set and then drop in here, and then go to the sensing and asking the user do you want to use our calculator? We asking to answer why or not. Okay, that's good. Then we change into the user input and then drop the answer. Next, go to the control and then drop the if function and then if else function, and then go to the operators and then drop in here, and then go to the variables, and then if the user input contains y, so this code in this block will running. And then if the user input is not, so this function will be running. And then if the user is not choose the y or not, so the else function it will be run. Okay, next we go to this control and then sensing, and then asking again the user enter your first number, and then go to the variables and then set, and then input 1, go to the sensing and then answer. Okay, I will start into the main program and then duplicate it. Okay, just two, and then I will change into second number. Okay, good. And then enter your operators. It's submission, subtraction, multiplication, then division. Okay, good. And then change this variable input 2, and then this is into the operators, and then drop in here, then the operators drop in here, and then drop in here. Okay, next we go to the control and then drop this if function. I will put 3 maybe. Okay, and then if else function in here. Okay, that's good. And then go to the variables, and then in operators, and then drop this into this and this. Okay, good. And then go to the variables, and then operators in here, in here, in here, and in here. Okay, and change this exactly with operators characters. It's plus. Okay, and then minus multiplication, and then divide. So if the user click but not in this operators, so the program it will be print invalid input. Okay, that's invalid input, and then the program will be closed. Okay, good. Next we go to the looks and then drop the say, drop the say, drop the say, and drop the say. This is symbols. And then go to the join like this, and then like this, and like this. Okay, and then the result is, and then copy, delete, copy, copy. Okay, good. Okay, next go to the operators and then drop this operators into this submission, and then subtraction in here, multiplication in here, and then division in here. Okay, good. And then go to the variables and then drop this input 1 in here, and then input 1 in here, input 1 in here. Okay, do the same thing. Okay, and then input 2 in here, input 2, yeah, input 2. Okay, it's good. And then I wanna go to the looks and then say thanks for coming. Okay, it will say in 3 seconds, then it will be shown in 4 seconds, 4 seconds, 4 seconds, and 4 seconds. Okay, and then go to the says again, then write invalid input. Okay, say in 3 seconds. And then if the code is finished, and then we're gonna say thanks for using our profile. Or using our service. Okay, good. And then we're gonna run this code. Do you wanna use the calculators? Of course, yes. Enter your first number, 1, and then plus 1. Okay, the result is 2. Let's try different. 5. Oh, okay, that's it. Do you want to use the calculators? And then I write 5. Also, basically this code will be say invalid input, and then thanks for using our service. Okay, we run this code again and then say no. What will happen? Okay, thanks for coming. Okay, this is the code is running. Okay, and then we're gonna run again to check. Yes, enter the first number, maybe 6. We're gonna multiply it by 12. Okay, the result is 72. Okay, thanks for using our service. Okay, maybe that's all what I can share in Stretch, and then move into Replit for Python. The next thing is how we can implement that program in Stretch into a real code in Python. Okay, let's write the code. Search a Replit and then click Replit. Okay, make sure you have an account in here and then make a new folder. I'll use this. Okay, I will speed up this video until I finish write my code. Okay, wait. Okay, this is the program that I just built, and I will explain line by line. Okay, the first line I have a comment that contains add user input. This comment is not run because it's just comment, and computer cannot write this comment because it's not a function. Okay, and then in the second line I have sleep variables with float types, and then it input user how many hours do you sleep in a day. And then in the third line I have work variables, and then with the type float also, then input, then how many hours do you work in a day. And then in the fourth line I have a relaxing weekend variable. You can change whatever you want, but I prefer to use this. And then using float types, and then input how many hours do you relaxing in a weekday. And then relaxing weekend using float types, and then input how many hours do you relaxing in a weekend. Okay, in the sixth line I have comment that contain calculating the time, and then the seventh line I have variable free time in a weekday. And this is the function. In a day we have 24 hours, and then we minus with the sleep, and then minus with the work, and then minus with the relaxing time in a weekday. In 8th line it's basically the same as in 7th line. I just change this in relaxing time in a weekday to relaxing time in a weekend. In the 9th line I have total free time variable. It contains 5, that means 5 day in a weekday, and then multiply by free time in a weekday. It collected from here, and then plus 2. That means 2 days in a weekend. It's Saturday and Sunday. Then multiply by free time in a weekend. This. Okay. That's basically just like that. And then we print out all the variable using print function. Then you have plus. I'm using this str function. It basically to manipulate it integer into string, because if I don't use str function in here, this code it will be error. Look, it will be error. So I will use str function to manipulate the integer into string. Okay, then just like that into the 13th line. Okay, I will run this code. Go to the console, and then how many hours do you sleep in a day? 6 hours. And then how many hours do you work in a day? It's 5 hours. And then how many hours do you relaxing in a weekday? 3 hours. And then how many hours do you relaxing in a weekend? 4 hours. Okay, that's it. We have this. So basically you have 10 hours free in a weekday, and then you have 9 hours free in a weekend, and then you have total 68 hours free in a week. Okay, that's all for program 1, and move into the second program. Okay, this is the second program that I will build. It's create basic calculators. We just built a basic calculators in Scratch, but in this we're gonna implement it into a code. Let's get into it. I will speed up this video until I finish the word code, and then I will explain line by line. Okay, just wait. Okay, this is the second program that I just built, and I will explain line by line. Okay, in the second line we have user input. This is a variables that contains user input. Do you want to use calculators, and then asking the user to write yes or no, and then using while to looping this code, so the user can using calculator as he want, and then while user input, while this user input is contains y, and then I will loop this code. Why I'm using this upper? Because if I don't use this upper function, so if the user click the y without the uppercase, this code it will be error, or just write this thank for using this calculator. So this is the error. This is not true. So we use this upper so that can resolve the problem. This is the input one variable that contain integer, and then input enter first number from user, and then operator variable it contain input, and then questioning the user enter the operators to pick one in here, and then using input two variables to get a second number, and then using if to get the plus in this operator. So if the plus icon is clicked, and then it will be result is input 1 plus input 2. Now, result is a variable that is can contain the result, and then we're using elif for if, and then we write minus, and then result, and then input 1 minus input 2, and then using elif again operator, and then using multiplication, and then contains input 1 multiplication by input 2, and then this is the elif operators is equals division symbol, and then if the input 2 equals 0, so the result is error, because in mathematics if the numeric is 0, it can be cause an error. So to prepare this, I will use this if function, and then if this if the input 2 is not a 0, and then result equals input 1 divided by input 2, and then else, because if the user is not writing correct these operators, it can be invalid operators, and then after that print result and result, and then after the print the result, it still contains a number, so I will set the result into a 0, and then I will asking the input again to do you want to use calculator again, yes or no. If the user write yes, and then the loop is still will loop, and then if the user is writing none, and then the program it will be closed. Okay, I will be run this code. Okay, do we now use the calculator? Yes, and then the first number 1 plus 4. Okay, the result is 5. Do you want to use the calculator again? And then yes, and then the first number of 5, and then divided by 2. Okay, the result is 2.5. Okay, and then I will use again into a big number, maybe 1034 and times 345. Okay, oh wait, and then 345. Now okay, what if I write none? Okay, the program is closed. Thanks for using calculators. Okay, that's all that I can share with you, and I hope this video can help you to learn about Python and Stretch. Okay, see you to the next video. Bye bye. Boom.